Assalamu alaikum, family. I pray we are striving to improve ourselves physically, mentally, and most importantly, spiritually. What does it mean to improve spiritually? Let's see. Your spirit is what gives the life, the energy, and the electricity to your brain, bones, and body. Your spirit is pure, raw power and light that cannot be created or destroyed, and has always existed since the beginning of time. It is a connection to the cosmos and the stars and the Supreme Being. It gives us the ability to do amazing things if the power of it is harnessed appropriately. What kind of power can we express if we use this spiritual energy appropriately? Have you ever heard of remote viewing? Have you ever heard of astral projection, telepathy, or healing with your hands, just to name a few? We have so much power in our beings. However, in order to harness and apply this spiritual energy, we must first purify our vessels. We are conduits for this spiritual electricity, but just like any conduit, if it is dirty and broken, it can only transfer and put out only a fraction of what is put in us. We can look at ourselves like a wire that electricity moves through. A wire that is functional is called a live wire. It is alive. If it is not functioning, it is called a dead wire, meaning it is not flowing with electricity. Well, we were destroyed, made into a dead wire, spiritually and mentally dead for a lack of knowledge. The 10% of the wicked powers that be are continuously destroying us spiritually and mentally to ensure we have an untimely physical death so that we won't wake up to the powerful truth that they hide. We will not reach our highest spiritual outputs if we are internally filled with impurities and are internally broken. We must make ourselves the opposite of impure, which is pure, and the opposite of broken, which is whole or holy. What makes us dirty and broken? Well, there are layers to it. 3 major layers are 1, the physical layer, 2, the mental layer, and 3, the spiritual layer. So with the physical layer, we can start by analyzing ourselves and looking to see if we are physically clean. Clean hands, clean feet, clean bodies, clean hair. Almost every animal in nature cleans itself daily by taking baths in a clean water or pure, clean earth. They meticulously clean themselves, even if they were never even taught to do so by their parents. Not only do they keep their physical bodies clean, they also keep their homes clean, whether they live in a nest or a den. Why? Because their DNA tells them so. Their connection with nature and the universe tells them so. Their connection with the Supreme Being tells them so. So what happened to us? Do we still have that connection with the universe, nature, and the Supreme Being? Do we meticulously clean ourselves on a daily basis? Do we keep our vehicles and homes clean at all times? You see, when a bird sees anything in its nest that's not supposed to be there, it immediately removes it out of the nest. It doesn't look at it and say, "I'll clean it later." We have to begin to do the same if we wish to purify ourselves, to use the spiritual power that is lying dormant within us. All of the dirt, mess, and clutter in our lives need to go steadily so that we can expand our flow of energy. So after we have started cleaning the outsides of our bodies, we next have to begin to clean the insides of our bodies. This is mainly what we are putting in our mouths, what we are eating and drinking. We have to learn how to eat to live and stop living to eat. I will briefly talk about this, but the best way I have learned to eat to live is by buying and reading the books How to Eat to Live, books 1 and 2, by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. I recommend everyone to purchase these very short and affordable, easy reading books as soon as possible. If you can't afford it, let me know and I'll help you in getting them. Now, if we examine our mouths, what do they tell us? We have flat teeth, not pointy teeth like a dog or a lion. That is telling us that we are mainly fruit and vegetable eaters, not meat eaters. When we eat other than what we were designed to eat, we create blockages and disruptions in our bodies and in our spiritual flow of electricity. Eating foods that are not organic causes buildups of toxins that hinder and restrict our flow of energy as well. Pure drinks are most suitable for us to drink. What is a pure drink? Something that only has one ingredient. Spring water is the best. Now the second layer to purify within ourselves, to amplify our spiritual electrical energy, is the mental layer. How has the mental layer of our beings been impaired? Well, what are we listening to and what are we watching on the screens? Drama, lust, violence, negativity, entertainment, sports, jokes, and comedy. How will we learn from any of those to heal ourselves, heal our families, and heal our communities? We cannot expect to laugh or entertain our problems away. We cannot put negativity in our heads and expect to become more pure and positive. Whatever we feed into our minds will eventually grow into our beings. We must begin to feed our minds with truth and positivity, with righteous knowledge and righteous wisdom. And the third layer of purification to access the greater powers of the beings is by cleansing our core, our center, which is our spirit. We have to reconnect to the oneness of God, the oneness of nature, the oneness of each other and the universe. This begins when we start to love ourselves. Look at yourself with your third eye and say, I love you. Love is the soap we must use to cleanse and purify ourselves. We have to use this soap of love on ourselves multiple times a day, just like how we're supposed to clean ourselves multiple times throughout the day. But it's more than just saying I love you. For instance, if we wanted to clean our hands, but didn't take our hands to a sink and add soap and rub our hands together under water, then we wouldn't truly wash our hands, even though we may have said it in our minds. Love is synonymous with the word duty. So to say, I love you, means we have to carry out an action followed by the statement of I love you. If we truly love ourselves, we have to stop putting impurities and intoxicants in ourselves that will break us down over time and sometimes even overnight. That's how breakdowns occur. You see, to utilize our spiritual power to do the meticulous work that needs to be done, we have to know where to draw this power from. It is a form of spiritual electricity that moves through you and I. It moves the earth and the moon, the animals and the insects. Do we love ourselves? When we are walking upon the earth and see a piece of trash on the earth, do we walk by it, or do we pick it up and throw it away? Did you not know that your bones come from the calcium rock that is in the earth? Therefore, you are an extension of the earth, and the earth is an extension of you. Your blood comes from the water of the earth. Therefore, you are the earth. So if we are going to love ourselves, and we know that to love ourselves we must keep ourselves clean, and we know that we are one with the earth because our flesh, bone, and blood comes out of the earth, then we can draw from the power of the earth by respecting the earth and keeping it clean, as we would keep our own mind, bodies, and souls clean. The same electrical spirit that's in every creature upon the earth is part of your spirit. Therefore, they are an extension of you. Do we respect the creatures of the earth? Do we love the creatures of the earth? If we can realize the oneness of all of us that was created by the Creator, then we will see that love for ourselves leads to love for one another, and love for His earth and creatures, and love for our stars and universe. And whenever you show something like that, you love it. Like a child, for instance. When we prove we love someone unconditionally through our actions and gain the trust of that child or individual, that child or individual will allow us to then play with them. Through our love, we gain trust, and through that trust, we gain access to that person, to that spirit, and to that power. This is the process of meticulous daily lifestyles that we need to learn how, with the permission and help of God, we'll become one with Him and one with the power that resides within all of us. Because, in reality, when we receive pleasure in seeing pain in others, pleasure in harming other people and creatures of life, we are in actuality demonstrating our disconnection from life and our lack of care and hate for ourselves. A man named Farad Muhammad, who is the founder of the Nation of Islam, has mastered this oneness. He has mastered the reading minds, mastered hearing of our thoughts, even mastered the language of the birds using his spiritual electrical excellence. He has the power to hear each and every one of your thoughts who are listening to this right now. Hear every one of your thoughts at the same time. There is no other man as powerful as this man I speak to you about. He has taught us in the Nation of Islam all that we know, and he desires all of us to seek him into our lives so that we can learn how to become the best versions of yourselves through the righteous guidance he has made available to us. How do I know? It's because he taught the man Elijah Muhammad, and that man taught the man Louis Farrakhan, and all three of them have been teaching myself, and I am now sharing with you all what I have learned from them. And I pray that you also will take the initiative to begin your own self-exploration journey towards seeking the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding given to me by these three great men, so that you too will be given the key to unlock your most powerful potential yet. All praise is due to God. Now, with this elevated state of consciousness you have just received by listening to this message that I have shared with you from those three great men, I want you to hold on to it as long as you can and begin to clean up yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. Love yourself unconditionally and begin to create your own connection to the universe, the earth, and above all, the Supreme Being. May God protect, bless, and guide you towards perfect righteousness and the oneness of Himself. Assalamu alaikum.